everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Nutrition Challenge. Congratulations for deciding to make a healthy change. I'm Jeremy Parasini, exercise and health physiologist, and your guide to this series, which is all about enabling and inspiring you to make that healthy change in your life. So today's episode is for a fantastic ginger lentil soup. You're going to love it, and it's easy as hell to make. So let's get started. I'm going to explain basics of how this works. By the way, you'll find uploaded to our website, you're going to find full details on this challenge. So the recipe is on page 1, and then we've got some stuff on page 2, which we're going to get to in a minute. First thing you're going to do here is you're going to heat up some canola oil. So I've got this heating right now, and to that you're going to add some onion. And you're going to let that heat up. You let that, I suppose you'd say fry, for 2 minutes, okay? And when you are done with that, after 2 minutes, then you're going to add this carrot, this ginger, the garlic, that's pepper, cumin, and I don't have this actually printed on the recipe, but I want you to know that I recommend, especially for spicy people, adding some curry powder, all right? So yeah, you're gonna add all this after that 2 minutes is up, and you're gonna simmer for another 2 minutes, all that together. By the way, it takes a lot of carrot in this recipe. There's a lot of carrot. It's very healthy. We'll get to that in a minute. So then when that 2 minutes is over, then you're gonna add your split, well, either whole or split red lentils, and you're going to add your vegetable broth. And I adding a little bit of cream because I want to. But that is completely optional, okay? So if you're trying to cut back, you don't have to put that in. You can actually use yogurt, right? That's another creamy type thing, a little bit less fat. Now, if you haven't cooked with a legume like a lentil before, then I'm happy to be the one. Where did my spatula go? Oh, I'm going to be happy to be the one to get you started on it. You know, it can be so easy to cook with lentils, at least in this case, because no preparation is required. You don't even need to rinse them. Sometimes you do, like especially for beans, but sometimes you don't. And if you split lentils for this recipe, then they don't take like long at all to cook. Like, it's really quick. All right, so when the 2 minutes are almost up, while this is all going, So yeah, why are we doing a carrot ginger lentil soup today? What the underlying challenge of the week is. All right. Well, this week we are talking about the balanced plate. So the balanced plate is the new system of the Canada Food Guide, and it makes it so easy as a system. It's so easy to work. How does the system work? Well, it's like this. You look down at the plate that's in front of you. Now, half of that plate, you want the real estate to go towards vegetables. Now, of the other half, you want half of that, or a quarter of the total. Yeah, you want this quarter here to go towards a whole grain, and the remaining quarter to go towards protein. That's it. Okay, that is what you want your plate to look like. Okay? So, in this system, a milk product is going to be, for the most part, a protein. Now, I like that idea, just because now you don't have to like memorize exactly what a serving is, which was never really that complicated. It's like the size of your fist and all that. But anyway, don't have to do that anymore. And so what you're going to find on page 2 of this week's challenge is you're going to find an exercise for you to do to build this concept into your life, to start making this the way that, well, your choice is reflective of this. So, you're going to see that for a beginner, your challenge is to, well, just look down at the plate that you happen to end up in front of you. Because you might not be the one doing all your cooking or any of it, really. Who knows, right? So for a beginner, just look down at the plate that's in front of you and see if it's balanced. And if it isn't, do something about it. But if you want to go one step up from that, next for a beginner is to look down at your shopping cart and to divide the real estate up that way too, in a balanced way, right? Or at least something more balanced, right? For a novice, then your exercise will be to think of a meal that you make for yourself on fairly regularly. And you're going to notice whether or not it's balanced, and if it isn't, you're going to do something about that. And one step up from that, you're going to think about your snacking. And you're going to notice, let's say you're snacking on cheese and crackers. So you got a protein in there. If you use the right type of cracker, you can have a whole grain. So where's your vegetable? Well, my suggestion is think of your snacking ahead of time. So maybe you can use a Tupperware container, and you can combine it with some cheese, some cracker, and a vegetable. Maybe fruit, and now you got a little bit more balance. But just a little bit more balance in your life, right? That's the best you can do for now. All right, so we have been simmering our carrot and all our other stuff here, the spices, and the ginger. We've been simmering that for a few minutes. And you just want to let those, well, the spices set in, right? So I think it's ready now. We're going to add, now this pan's going to be barely big enough. But don't worry, I think it's going to work. So I'm going to add my chicken broth. I'm sorry, not chicken, vegetable broth. Recipe that I have posted calls for no sodium added. Okay. Oh, and of course, lentils. Now, look, if you're looking at this recipe and you're saying, I don't know about cooking with lentils, and I don't know about soup. Well, I echo your skepticism. I had that too. But we are doing this recipe because the first time we did it on season 1 of the Nutrition Challenge, it was a hit. It was one of the stars of the show. So I'm just going to tell you, if you do this one time, you'll be making it a part of your life. Or at least you'll be striving very hard to. It's worth the effort. All right. So I just want to show you, that's this yellowish, orangish mixture. You're going to let that cook. Now, your lentils got to be softened. And your carrot. Lentils and carrot have to be softened. If you split lentils, your lentils are going to soften before your carrot. Now this pot here, I have to show you what it can look like when it's ready for the next stage of the process, which I'll show you next. This here is obviously not a finished soup. No, what you're going to do with that is you are going to process it. Now you can process it or use a blender. I don't have a processor. So I'm using this high-speed Ninja here, right? But I can't actually show the blending on camera because Avalon's phone smokes and malfunctions when it's that much noise in the background. Okay? So instead, I've already prepared a batch. And this is what the final product can look like. Now, I like my soup a little bit thicker than your average soup. Okay? It's kind of like my brain operations, very dense, right? So that's optional, right? You can use, well, you can add more cream, you can add some water to it, you can add some yogurt, right? And this is a small sample for Avalon and I to both try. So I'm just going to give this a quick heat in the microwave. And while I do that, again, I would like to congratulate you for deciding to do the challenge and deciding to take a healthier step in your life. That's great. And I want to give production credit to Avalon Health. She's your fitness and sport instructor from CFB Suffield, the extraordinary Avalon Health. And Carissa McKay, who's a health promotion specialist at CFB Edmonton, really helps me put together these ideas. And yeah, and all you Edmonton folks, I hope you're watching and I hope you learned a thing or two. And I think the only thing that's left, Avalon, is for us to... Didn't I set out spoons? I thought I set out spoons for us.
I didn't see any.
Didn't? All right. All that is left is for us to try a little bit of soup. Okay, you go first. I'll do the recording.
As good as last time.
As good as last time? Wonderful. Let me taste some. I can't wait. First time I made this soup, so skeptical, but I've never gone back. And it's just wonderful that, like, this is nutritious, you know?
It's fresh, a fresh taste.
But I mean, it's a treat, but there's nothing to be guilty about here. Well, I suppose I add a little bit of cream, but that's, as the French would say, c'est pas grand chose. It's not much. All right, well, that's all I got for now. I had fun. Sure hope you did too. And this actually does conclude, for the moment, season 2 of the Nutrition Challenge. But potential for a season 3. If you'd like a season 3, then please write us and we'll make that happen soon. Until then, in good health.